So for lesson 2, we have 2 exercises that will help us get this information about the myths of vulnerability kind of into our bones. Exercises that will allow us to explore what it is that we believe about vulnerability, kind of what we grew up believing, what the culture around us says about vulnerability. Because here's the thing, I can tell you that vulnerability is courage, and I can quote the data and talk to you about the research, but until we kind of bring forward our real beliefs about vulnerability, what we grew up seeing, what we hear today, how we feel about it, you can't change what you don't know. And so we're going to get clear with this first exercise on our own beliefs around vulnerability. So print it out, take a look. You can also do it on the computer on your mobile device. So the first is the vulnerability sentence stem. So what you'll see is 4 different sentence stems. And a sentence stem is just the beginning of a sentence that you fill in the end. The first is vulnerability is. What's an example for you of what vulnerability is? Vulnerability feels like. How does it physically feel for you? Third, I grew up believing vulnerability was. What did you learn in your family growing up about vulnerability? So for my family, like I've never heard the word vulnerability. So it's not like I grew up believing vulnerability. I just grew up seeing that crying doesn't fix things, being hurt doesn't work, suck it up, get it done, soldier on, push forward. So I grew up believing that vulnerability was weakness, that it meant you're not strong, you're not tough, and tough was really valued in my family. The last sentence stem really examines cultural messages. What are the cultural messages and expectations about vulnerability that you feel, either social, community, or organizational culture? One of the things that's been so powerful for me doing this work around the globe is every single person I've ever met can reference a specific saying or a specific story, a bedtime story, a quote that they grew up hearing that addresses why you shouldn't be vulnerable. So what is the cultural message, if there is one, about being open with your feelings and your thoughts and ideas? First exercise, the vulnerability sentence stems.